guys, Brian Buckosh here, core design engineer with Brunswick Bowling, to talk to you today about two new releases in the Hammer lineup, the Redemption Hybrid and the Fugitive Solid. The Redemption Hybrid contains the same asymmetrical Redemption core that was found in the first two Redemptions. That core has a .053 total differential and .015 intermediate differential. If you remember, total differential is related to total hook because it controls the track flare of the ball, and intermediate differential controls how hard the ball jerks off the friction once it encounters it. This ball also contains DOT and carbon fiber infused technology. DOT, durability optimization technology, puts the pin on the opposite side of the ball and leaves a dot where the pin normally would be. That way you can put any layout on the ball without worrying about drilling through the pin or voiding the warranty. The carbon fiber infused outer core is increasing the toughness and thus the hitting power through the pins. This ball contains the Aggression NE hybrid cover. If you remember, Aggression was found in both the solid and the pearl versions on the previous two releases. Now in a hybrid version, it comes 500 1000 with compound on top. Next up, we're going to talk about the Fugitive Solid. The Fugitive Solid has the same Fugitive low RG high differential symmetrical core found in the original. That core contains a .052 total differential. That core also has a carbon fiber infused outer for increased toughness and hitting power. This time, that core is wrapped in the Juiced Solid cover stock, surfaced at 500 and then 2000. Juiced is a fan favorite of Hammer, and the Juiced Solid was last seen on the Ruthless. There's a couple differences in these two symmetrical balls though. The Ruthless had an additional finishing step, finished at 500, 1000, 2000, compared to the 500, 2000 of the Fugitive. But even more than that, the Ruthless was a medium differential ball with a .041 total differential compared to the .052 total differential of the Fugitive Solid. So certainly the Fugitive Solid is going to be early and stronger, all other things being equal. Next up, I'm going to take you to the comparison chart and see how these two new balls stack up against the rest of the Hammer lineup. Here we see a comparison of all of the Hammer balls that have been released since making the transition to the Brunswick family of products. This chart is a little different than other charts that you are used to seeing, so I'm going to walk you through it briefly. On the bottom, on the x-axis, is the amount of oil volume that each release is intended to handle, starting with heaviest on the left and going from lightest on the right. The y-axis is actually categories of ball motion, with the three main categories being smooth continuous on the bottom, angular back end in the middle, and early strong mid lane on top. The two remaining categories bridge the gap between the three main categories of ball motion. So for example, hard arc bridges the gap between a smooth continuous motion and an angular back end, and a late strong mid lane bridges the gap between an angular back end and an early strong reading ball. The two new releases are highlighted in yellow. The Redemption Hybrid is built to handle a medium-heavy volume of oil. With its compounded finish that's similar to the Redemption Pearl, it sits a little closer to the Redemption Pearl than it does to the Redemption Solid in terms of total hook, but fits squarely in the late, strong mid-lane category of ball motion because of its hybrid cover. This is a perfect complement and fits nicely in between the early strong mid-lane of the Redemption Solid and the more angular back end of the Redemption Pearl. Notice that the Redemption Pearl doesn't sit squarely in the angular back end category because characteristically this Redemption core is a little more rolly than some of the other asymmetrical pieces in the Brunswick family of products. Changing the surface on the Redemption Hybrid to make it a little rougher will easily help it handle more oil volume and help it read the pattern a little firmer to make it fit more squarely between the Redemption Hybrid and the Redemption Pearl. Layout choices can also separate these balls, making them a great 1-2-3 punch for any league or tournament arsenal. The Fugitive Solid is built to handle a similar amount of total oil volume as the Redemption Hybrid, albeit with a much different motion shape. What's striking about the Fugitive Solid is just how far left of the Fugitive Pearl it is on the hook chart. Even though the Fugitive Solid is built to handle a ton more volume than the Fugitive Pearl, it still maintains that hard arcing back-end motion that Hammer fans loved out of the Fugitive Pearl. The difference in hook between the two is so much so that you could easily slot another symmetrical ball, such as a Latitude by Track or a Columbia 300 Outlook between them, and have a very intuitive 3-ball symmetrical arsenal. That's all the information I have on these 2 new releases from Hammer. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you go to my page and check out the videos I've made on the other new releases from the Brunswick family. While you're there, make sure you like and subscribe and share this video around. I'll be making new videos as more products from the Brunswick family of products come out. Until next time, thanks for watching. DOT stands for Durability Optimization Technology,